Okay, so Budokon Primary Series Section 2 begins in downward dog position for Section 2A. So we'll just get into downward dog first. I won't use any specific techniques to get into position. And we'll start from here. So Budokon Section 2A, feet come together. Draw the hips, ease the heels towards the ground, chest back towards the legs in downward dog, spreading the base in the hands, softening into the shoulders. Right leg rises and immediately forms the demi point as we lift the leg towards the sky and maintain neutral hips. We bend the right heel towards the sit bone and start to raise the left heel from the ground, tilting the pelvis and rolling through the spine as we draw the knee towards the nose. I'm going to demonstrate the modified version first, placing the foot down behind the hand, and then using the right hand to adjust the foot into position between the hands. From here, the right hand forms a fist and draws towards the right armpit as we prepare to draw the bow for the revolved archer pose, rising and forming the fist with the left hand as we realign and posture up through the spine, bending the left knee to draw the bow. We then start to release the arrow with the right hand, circling the left arm up and back, and going into our warrior 2 position, stacking the right knee above the front ankle. We continue to circle the arms, pivoting the feet and transitioning, keeping the hips low, and going into our double block position, turning the front leg to align the edge of foot with the front of the mat, and the back leg so that the toes point towards the rear corner, left corner of the mat. We're drawing the sword from the belt and then pivoting on the ball of the front foot and reaching out and forwards for reaching warrior. Continuing to deep reaching warrior, the right arm circles towards the ground. The left arm is rising. We're going through the side angle pose, keeping that shoulder nice and open. We draw the side body, continue reaching into extended side angle pose. Start to release down towards the floor like a setting sun. As we come back to low lunge, pivoting the back legs, we're back onto the ball of the foot. From here we start to push the ground away, creating cobra hood so we can draw that right foot from the ground. Again forming demi point as we take the weight gradually back and roll up, lengthening the leg up towards the sky. From here we slowly release the leg back down, returning into downward facing dog position. We now begin section 2B. So again, the right leg rises, immediately forming the demi point, keeping the hips nice and square. Right heel towards the sit bone, left heel rises. We roll through the spine, drawing the knee through the midline. And this time I'll bring the foot towards the left hand between the feet. Another progression. Heel toeing the foot towards the right hand. I'll now form the right fist and draw the hand towards the armpit and prepare to draw the bow for revolved archer, rising and forming the fist with the left hand, bending the left knee, posturing up, upright spine. Start to release the arrow from your bow, right palm up, opening the left hand, softening the shoulders as you extend the arms for the warrior 2 pose, and then continue to transition, pivoting the feet, keeping low in the hips, turning the left toes out, keeping the right edge of foot parallel as you extend that leg, going into our double block position. From here we go down through the high drop stance, bringing the hips towards the floor for the low drop stance. Arms forwards, pivot on the heel of the right foot, toes towards the ceiling, and start to slowly bring your sit bones to the floor. We base the right hand and roll the edge of the right foot to the floor. Keeping that left knee stacked above the ankle, we start to raise the hips, circling the left arm, and opening up into our warrior's bridge. From here, we start to come down, drawing the guard with the left hand. We draw the right hand closer to the body, pivoting on the heel of the right foot. We come round over the left knee, pivoting on the ball of the right foot as we draw the sword from the belt, and then start to reach forwards. You start to transfer the weight to the front leg and raise the back leg for flying warrior. Stacking the hips, extending the demi-pointed left leg to the back, left palm facing the thigh on that back leg, and maintaining good alignment. From here we start to bend the front knee, and with control we slowly bring the back leg, ball of foot back down to the ground, and transition back into double block position, keeping low in the hips, left hand circling up, right hand circling down, turning to the edge of the back of the front foot and finding our double block position. From here we start to draw the sword again from the left hip and pivot on the ball of the right foot, going into reaching warrior and then deep reaching warrior, circling the right arm to the ground, left arm towards the ceiling, towards the sky for our side angle pose. Just like a setting sun, side body opens up as we reach through extended side angle pose, pivoting on the ball of the back foot as the left hand descends to the ground. We're back into our low lunge. Once again, we push the ground away, spread the shoulder blades and create that rounded upper back for the cobra hood, scooping that front foot, lifting and lengthening, demi-point leg, reaches for the sky, drawing the weight back and the hips back, lengthening through the torso. We slowly bring that right leg back to the ground and return once again to the downward dog position. So we're now ready for section 2C. Once again, we bring the feet together before going up, and we draw that right leg into demi-point, lifting and lengthening, keeping the hips nice and neutral as we draw that three-legged downward dog position. From here, we bend the right heel towards the sit bone, left heel rises, tuck the tailbone, roll the spine, draw that knee through, and this time I'll demonstrate the full version, foot to floor between the hands, right hand forming the fist, and then left hand doing the same as we posture up for the revolved archer pose. Opening and circling the arm, pivoting the back leg, presenting that arrow forwards, palm up in the front arm. Staying low, pivoting the feet, right arm high, left arm low, and then transitioning, left arm rising, right arm descending, bringing the edge of that front foot, the right foot in line with the mat. From here, we draw the arms forwards, bring the right foot onto the heel and pivot, toes up to the sky. Slowly descending the hips towards the floor, and then we bring the right sit bone to the floor. Right hand bases, the left hand circles, left knee stacked above ankles, we're opening up on that left side, stacking the right shoulder above the left wrist, and then coming down with control. From here, we draw the right hand closer, pivot to rise, drawing the sword from the right hip, pivoting, and then rising into our flying warrior pose once again, finding that half moon alignment as we reach forwards. From here, the left leg, the back leg swings forwards and we pivot, keeping the hips nice and square and drawing the hands ready for our falling warrior. Arms come to brush the floor, and we keep that demi-pointed leg as we descend slowly and with control down into that chaturanga position, and then belly to floor. From here we go into cobra roll, so we draw the hips up, knees forwards, anterior tilt of the pelvis. Release the tops of the feet to the floor, and then posterior tilt, drawing the tailbone towards the navel and rolling through the spine so we articulate vertebra by vertebra. Head is the last thing to come up. We draw the shoulders back and down, engage the legs and the glutes, and bring the knees off the ground. Chin towards the chest. Push the ground away, forming your cobra hood, and beginning to roll backwards, vertebra by vertebra. Working your way back into downward facing dog. And then finishing the right side for section 2 here. Moving on to the left side, or putting a vinyasa in between the two sides. So for vinyasa, the heels would rise. And then we start to articulate the spine, rolling forward, starting at the tailbone and the coccyx. Rolling all the way through and forward to a cobra hood, shoulders over wrists, pelvis descending towards the floor, Shoulders rolling, we spread the chest, opening up into that floating up dog position. Chin towards the chest, and we push the ground away, forming our cobra hood, and start to roll back one vertebra at a time, gradually finding the downward dog pose, heels descending towards the ground. And then you can go on to your second round on the left side.